Among the countless characters in Incredibox Sprunki, one stands out above the rest: Wenda, the white cat. According to official sources, Wenda is one of the killers, though not the only one, responsible for making many Sprunki experience the most terrifying moments of their lives. However, we still don't know why she did it. What was the breaking point that caused Wenda to snap and start taking down Sprunki one by one? And why did she spare Gray? Does he have a deeper connection to this story? Let's finally unravel the mystery of Wenda. We'll start by exploring Wenda's relationships with the other characters, which will be the key to understanding her true nature. Truthfully, we know very little about how Wenda interacted with the other Sprunki, so we can only speculate about their relationships. Given the fact that in the second phase, Wenda decided to eliminate nearly all the Sprunki, I'd venture to say that her connection with them was, at best, strained. But why does Gray raise the most questions? I think the mod creator deliberately highlighted that Wenda and Gray aren't related, but if we look at their designs, it's clear just how similar they are. For some reason, I get the feeling that Wenda harbors deeper feelings for Gray than most people realize. This could have been one of the factors that allowed Gray to survive that chaotic transition between phases. One of the most popular theories about Gray's survival is that he managed to hide somewhere and just hope no one would find him. However, during his hiding, he witnessed everything that happened, leaving him with what's often called the 1,000-yard stare. But let's take a moment to think about this. Wenda managed to track down and eliminate many Sprunki who, for one, seemed tougher than Gray, and second, probably also tried to hide. Yet, Gray is the one who survived. Let that sink in. Even if Wenda doesn't have any particular feelings toward Gray, it's likely they were friends. We've seen a similar dynamic in Incredibox Sprunki between Simon and Oren, who are also very similar in appearance but aren't related. Perhaps the mod creator intended this as a nod to the relationship between Wenda and Gray. It might just be a coincidence, but otherwise, it's tough to explain why Gray specifically was spared. Wenda simply chose to let Gray live, while another Sprunki wasn't so lucky. Of course, I'm talking about Tunner, who, by all accounts, seemed to be Wenda's primary enemy, or something close to it. We know from official sources that Wenda has a knife, likely her weapon of choice for most of her crimes. However, Tunner met a different fate. According to the lore, Tunner carried a gun, possibly for self-defense, but it seems Wenda outsmarted him and turned his own weapon against him, a chilling detail we clearly see in the second phase. This detail is pretty significant. If Wenda didn't use her knife, it means she knew that trying to take down Tunner with it would only get her neutralized quickly. So, she had to be smarter about it. Most likely, she tricked him into giving up his weapon. And, well, you know how the rest played out. But why did Wenda target Tunner first? According to the canon, Tunner is the sheriff and sees it as his duty to protect the other Sprunki. So, from Wenda's perspective, eliminating the sheriff was a logical move. She had to get rid of the one person who could stop her and save the others. As I mentioned before, we don't know much about Wenda's relationships with most of the Sprunki, but I'm almost 100% sure she maintained good ties with either the ones who turned into monsters in the second phase, or those who, like her, became killers. After all, she would have needed a partner to pull this off. Now let's revisit the connection between Wenda and Gray, because it's one of the most critical aspects of this whole mystery. In the second phase, Wenda bears a striking resemblance to Gray, something fans of Incredibox Sprunki picked up on immediately. They bombarded the creator with questions about their relationship, to which we got an official and very clear answer. Wenda and Gray are not related, but the creator left their true connection a mystery, almost as if it was deliberately planned to intrigue us. And then there's the fact that Gray didn't get a single scratch, while someone like Ratty endured one of the most horrifying deaths. That raises even more questions, ones we can't help but keep asking. Maybe they're just friends, or maybe there's something romantic between them. Or perhaps Wenda is hopelessly in love with Gray, but doesn't get any reciprocation. Based on that, you could craft a theory, like Wenda's insane jealousy driving her to eliminate everyone while sparing Gray. But there's absolutely no evidence, not even indirect hints to support this, so we'll dismiss such theories right away. Let's focus on more plausible ideas. One of them suggests that Wenda didn't act of her own free will, although judging by her smile, it's hard to say that's the case. Let's revisit the theory that someone made Wenda kill so many Sprunki. The main suspect here is Black. While we don't have any official confirmation, one detail makes this theory increasingly believable. When you select Black in the first phase, you're sent straight to the hellish realm where almost all the Sprunki meet their end. This detail sparked the theory that Black might actually be the second killer, but then why is Wenda so cheerful about it? There's another theory suggesting that Black hypnotized Wenda into doing his dirty work. Of course, we can't rule out the possibility that Black isn't involved at all, and that Wenda just lost her mind. However, this version has a flaw. Wenda isn't the only one who's gone mad, and every unhinged character in this story has their own distinct motives. Maybe there. For example, let's take a closer look at Lime, who definitely managed to survive, albeit at the cost of losing his lower jaw. In the first phase, there was a minor conflict between Ratty and Lime, during which Ratty hit Lime with a hammer. Then, in the second phase, Ratty suffered one of the most excruciating deaths. It's entirely possible that Wenda had nothing to do with his demise. Even when the Sprunki world seems cheerful and wholesome, that's far from the truth. The Sprunki aren't exactly the most harmonious bunch, and conflicts arise among them. So, pinning all the blame on Wenda isn't entirely fair. Returning to Lime, canonically, he was undergoing treatment in a psychiatric facility before escaping. Honestly, I find it more believable that he escaped rather than being discharged. This mix of unresolved mental health issues and lingering resentment could very well explain the brutal revenge he sought. I believe the main culprit is Black. While the developers haven't confirmed this, the fact that Black is the one who takes us to the Hell phase makes him a prime suspect. Wenda and Lime, on the other hand, might just be pawns in this twisted game. Black could have manipulated them, planting the idea that everyone around them was an enemy and that they needed to eliminate these threats before they got hurt themselves. While we can't say for sure whether Wenda struggles with mental health issues, it's clear that the world of Incredibox Sprunki isn't as bright and cheerful as it seems. It's safe to assume that Wenda harbored grudges or ill feelings toward someone. After committing the first murder, it's possible Wenda became consumed by her actions, unable to stop, and continued seeking revenge against everyone she encountered. If we follow this theory, Tunner may have been the one who wronged Wenda in the past. Coincidentally, he was also the only one capable of protecting the other Sprunki. Once Wenda realized no one could stop her anymore, she descended into chaos, hunting down every Sprunki she could reach and unleashing her bottled-up rage. Just a quick reminder that this is purely my theory, supported only by circumstantial evidence. And with that, we wrap things up for today. See you soon!